Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really powerful story drawn from the work of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. We're going to journey together through these huge themes of identity, what love looks like, both good and bad, and that quiet internal battle we all fight for self-worth. It's a story that kicks off with the tiniest little discovery and then just spirals into some of life's biggest questions. So, let's get into it.
It all starts right here, with this feeling. A sentiment that is so incredibly personal, but at the same time, it's completely universal, right? It's that sudden, almost chilling realization that time is moving, the world is changing, and you might just be standing still, totally unseen. This quote just perfectly captures that melancholy that's right at the heart of our narrator's story. It's this feeling of being a stranger to the world, and maybe, just maybe, even a stranger to yourself.
And you know, that feeling, it leads directly to this massive question. How do we even measure a life well lived? Is it about our accomplishments, the love we've given and received, the dreams we actually managed to catch? This question is the engine driving our narrator's whole journey, what she calls her dream count of all the paths she took and all the ones she didn't. And it's the central question we're going to be exploring together.
So, to dig into this, we're going to follow her story through 5 key stages. We'll start with the spark that lights the fuse, a single gray hair. Then, we're going to look closely at the shape of a really destructive love. We'll see how she tries to navigate these clashing worlds and the weight of their words. Then we'll get to witness that incredible moment of liberation when she finally breaks the spell. And lastly, we'll arrive at the reckoning, counting the dreams.
Okay, so let's begin right where our narrator does. It's a moment that's so mundane, but also absolutely monumental. It's the kind of small physical change that just unexpectedly sets off this profound emotional crisis, forcing a look in the mirror that goes way, way deeper than the surface.
Think about it. It's just one hair. It seems so insignificant, but for her, in that single strand, she sees the passage of time made real, undeniable. It triggers what she calls a rush of raw melancholy, a stark realization that this life, this fragile act of breathing in and out, well, this is it. This isn't just about getting older, it's about the terrifying thought that the years have just slipped away, leaving this heavy, unanswered question hanging in the air. Has she truly lived at all? From that deep, internal crisis, the story shifts to one of its most powerful external examples: how a relationship can actually diminish you instead of making you feel bigger. We get introduced to a man named Darnell, and through him, we see the truly devastating shape of a toxic love.
What's just so devastating about this is the reason for the lies. They're not malicious. They are essentially acts of self-erasure. She changes her opinions, her tastes, her very being, just to try and fit into the mold of what she thinks he wants. She even lies about being sick just to, quote, wrest wretched scraps of reassurance from him. And that is the absolute core of a toxic dynamic, shrinking yourself for a love that requires you to disappear.
And this just shows you the depth of that dependency. Her entire existence becomes a waiting game. Her phone is never on silent because what if she misses his call? Other people's texts become an annoyance. Even her creative work, her travel writing, it just stalls out whenever he goes quiet. He isn't just a part of her life. He has become the sun that her entire world revolves around. The crucial point is, she's completely lost her own center.
But the conflict isn't just happening inside her head. It's made so much worse by all these external pressures, judgments about race, class, and culture that Darnell often uses like a weapon to keep her feeling small and insecure.
So here, we start to see the specific texture of his cruelty. She asks a simple, really vulnerable question: "Am I your girlfriend?" And he doesn't answer her. Instead, he dismisses her question as hackneyed, like it's some cheap cliché from a pop song. He attacks her language to avoid dealing with her feelings, framing his emotional cowardice as intellectual superiority. It's such a subtle but absolutely devastating way to belittle someone.
And here's another example of how he wields intellectual ideas like a club. She mentions that her housekeeper, Kadiatou, is like family. It's just an expression of warmth and affection. But Darnell twists it, bringing up these academic arguments about slavery to create this false, deeply offensive parallel. He's using a complex historical debate not to enlighten, but to mock her and undermine a genuine connection she has with another person. It's just brutal.
This happens when they're in Paris. She orders a mimosa at a fancy hotel, and he attacks her for it. He frames this simple drink order as a sign of her being culturally unsophisticated, a failure to perform worldliness up to his standards. He makes her feel ashamed for a choice that is completely harmless, again, using a cultural critique as a tool for personal cruelty.
And the pressure also comes from his social circle. At this dinner party, a friend makes this grand pronouncement, and it's aimed directly at the narrator's family. The narrator feels so judged. She hates the comment, but at the same time, she desperately wants their approval. And what's so powerful is her own observation. She recognizes the hypocrisy because she knows this same friend's family has a summer house. It's a sudden moment of clarity, revealing the phony social posturing she's trapped inside of.
So, after navigating this whole landscape of quiet humiliations and crushing self-doubt, something finally shifts. This is the moment the narrator decides to reclaim her life, to finally break the spell that has held her captive for so long.
This, right here, is the turning point. After that final humiliation in Paris, she takes one single, decisive action. She doesn't just think it, she tells someone. She messages her cousin. And by saying it out loud to another person, the decision suddenly becomes real, irreversible. It's no longer just a private odd, it's a public declaration, a line drawn in the sand.
And the aftermath is just as telling. The moment that spell is broken, everything changes. The fear, the wavering will, the obsession, it all just vanishes. The mystery of Darnell, which she had spent years trying to figure out, is revealed to be, well, nothing at all. It just dissolves. It's such a powerful metaphor for the kind of clarity that can come once you finally step out of a toxic dynamic. The love just disappears. Poof.
And this brings us to the final section, what comes after the spell is broken. This is the period of reflection, of reckoning with the past, and crucially, learning to imagine a new, much healthier kind of love.
I mean, this slide just presents such a stark contrast. It's night and day. With Darnell, her world shrank into just waiting. Love was a constricting force. But with the London man, love is expansive. A familiar city becomes a glimmering sanctum, just alive with new possibility. This juxtaposition is the core lesson here. Healthy love should make your world bigger, not smaller.
This wisdom comes from her fiercely intelligent cousin, Omelogor, who writes a blog called For Men Only. It's practical, direct advice that's clearly born from watching the failures of men like Darnell. 1. Tend to love, daily, like you would a garden or your own grooming. 2. Apologize with specifics. Don't just say say I'm sorry for doing this specific thing. And 3. Do your homework. Take responsibility for learning about women's bodies instead of relying on fantasy or ignorance. It's basically a roadmap for a more conscious and caring partnership.
And this is perhaps the most profound realization of all. After years of struggling, of twisting herself into knots, of analyzing every single silence, she experiences a relationship where things are just easy. Not without effort, of course, but without that constant draining anxiety and self-doubt. It's a revelation that love isn't meant to be a battlefield or some unsolvable puzzle. It's supposed to feel like a sanctuary.
And so we end right where we began, with that idea of a dream count. After everything, the heartbreak, the liberation, the new discoveries, the narrator's friend asks her for the conclusion. What did you learn from taking stock of your life? The narrator leaves that answer open, turning the question back on us. So after hearing this story, after reflecting on these themes of love and self-worth, what is the conclusion of your dream count? What measure are you using for your own life?